Hi, I'm Paul from the Studio Rats. Today I'm joined by...
Lee. Hi.
Lee's in because I've got a new toy, or I've got a toy that I bought again. I tend to do this with things. I tend to buy stuff when they first come out.
Don't we all?
That's what happens. And then, because you're one of the first adopters, you find all the faults with it and you go, I can't get past that. But anyway, the Quad Cortex has been around now for... God, what, 3 or 4 years?
I'll tell you what, it was announced...
2019.
It was announced just before the pandemic, wasn't it?
Yeah, 2019, because James and I were at the NAMM show 2019, and they had a booth there, and they were showing it. And if we were completely honest, we were really impressed with a lot of the things about it, but the feel of it just still didn't feel right to us, or didn't feel right to us at the NAMM show. So James and I both bought one because, I mean, even now, 4 years later, it's still pretty impressive. But as we started using it more and more and more, I think we sort of found its faults. And we've given it 4 years, and I've got another one because I want to create a bunch of captures, or I have created a bunch of captures of the Amplified Nation amps that I've got. So I thought I'd bring Lee in, and Lee, who's never played one, never even seen one.
No.
Can try it for the first time. You'll see that I've got a pedal attached to this as well. I've got a Jam Pedals Harmonious Monk, and there's a reason for this, and I'll explain all that later on. But for the moment, we're just going to be having a look at the Quad Cortex. So I've loaded up the first preset. Have a bit of a go. Lee hasn't touched it, so this is Lee's first playthrough.
Right. Brit 2203. Yeah.
Yeah?
Sounds like a... Yeah. What's that based on? Just some kind of fairly light Marshall, JTM Marshall.
Oh, I can't remember which one the 2203 is. I think it might even be a JCM. But anyway, someone will tell us in the comments.
Yeah.
Someone will tell us in the comments. But anyway, so what you can do with this, you can go through all the different presets by either going up and down the presets using the up and down button, or you can switch to the preset mode and then click on the next preset.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. That's really nice, actually. Yeah.
That's really interesting because you're going through all the stuff that I started playing through, and I was like, oh man, I'm not sure. There's some really impressive presets in it.
Yeah.
I find what they tend to do is, because Neural DSP, let's be honest, I think most of their stuff is, well, they started off doing the more sort of high gain stuff, didn't they?
Yeah.
And they're really good at that. For the low gain stuff, I don't think they're as good at, but I think it's still brilliant because you can capture your own stuff, obviously. And I've got together a couple of patches that I really liked. Okay, so now I think they start getting more impressive. If I click up here, we can go to the different preset banks. So if I go to 4 and 4D now, I think this is based on a Morgan.
Yeah.
Try that.
So when I listen to all of these,
Yeah.
I'm always either in two. I'm thinking about two different scenarios. The first scenario is obviously a live gig,
which is the reason why I wanted you to have a look at this, because just in case anyone doesn't know, Lee just uses modelers live.
Yeah,
that's all you use. You don't use an amp. Never use an amp. No. It's just modelers into in-ears and straight to the desk.
that sound, I think personally that sound would get quite lost in a band mix quite quickly. Nice and jangly on the top end, but
so you don't even mean from the reverb point of view, you mean like the actual tone of it?
The actual tone is a bit sort of, could do with a bit more oomph on the bottom end for me.
Right.
And the second scenario, of course, is recording. It would sit well in a recording, I think. Obviously, depending on what song you were doing, but it feels really good too.
The patches that I think are really impressive, if I go to 6, so let's push that there. Okay, D minor, just hit the guitar strings. How good is that? It's good, isn't it?
That's really good. Yeah,
it is really good. I think they should make more of that.
Yeah,
personally, I think they should make more of that as a feature. There's two. There's a comfortably numb patch as well.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm still playing through all the amps, and I'm thinking they're all right. I think they're all right. But the thing that this does really well, and everyone knows this because there's loads of videos on the quad capture, is the ability to capture your amplifier, and it does it really, really well. I think. See, I think the best thing about this is the effects are definitely better than they used to be, especially the reverbs.
Yeah.
So they've updated they must have updated all that because to me it sounds so much better.
So what's the quality of the capture like compared? I mean, because obviously you've got experience of Kemper and Tonex.
Yeah.
How does the capture?
Well, it's a lot faster than Tonex because Tonex can take like an hour and a half just to process the capture. Yeah. This does a capture in 5-10 minutes of that.
Yeah.
And what they've also done is to bring out the app, and I think the app is what makes it for me. Right. So let me show you all the things that I think aren't great about it, and then we'll go over some of the stuff that is good. If I click on here and I go to my presets, and I go to my preset now. So what I've done here, I've captured by Amplified Nation Overdrive Reverb, and I'm using all of their stomp boxes because I think they're really good. So the stomp box that I've got in there, I've got a Friedman BEOD, an exotic. I don't know what the actual pedal that is, but and I've got a Myth Drive, which I'm guessing is like a Centaur. So let me turn that off. Play through that. Have a listen.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So, thing that I don't like about it is when you click on an overdrive or an effects block. Let's just call it effects block because this could be anything. Right. If I want to try out a bunch of different effects or different overdrives, I've got to go here. I've got to change the device. So I've got to click change device, and then I'm going to go through all of the different states of all of these overdrive pedals. Now, the app does it in a much better way. So if I click on the app, now I can click on that overdrive pedal, and it's so much easier to go through all the different effects types. So I think the app is almost essential for me. So this is the overdrive reverb.
That's just the amp, is it?
That's the amp and the BEOD pedal.
Yeah, right.
The BEOD effects block. So there's not a capture. That's their version of the BEOD.
Wow. Nice and dynamic.
Yeah, sorry, innit? I think the thing, I know what you're doing. You were sort of testing the dynamics of the pedal by bringing down the volume.
Yeah.
The BEOD to me is not a dynamic pedal. It's just like, it's all just like, like that. It doesn't make, you lightly touch the string and it's like full on.
Yeah.
So what you can also do is to go into Stompbox mode, and then you can set up these pedals to control the different stomp boxes. So for me, if I was going out live with this, I would just have this one patch. And then I can switch on and off my different pedals.
Yeah.
And just go out like I was using an amp and a pedal board.
Yeah,
to me, that's the ideal way of doing it. You can set up scenes where you have different effects on and different amounts of the effects and all that sort of stuff. One of the other things that I don't like about it, if you load in a modulation block, an effects block, and I want to change the effect here, change device, I haven't got a harmonic tremolo.
Oh, right, okay.
So what I've done is to load up, if I turn that reverb, I'll stick the big reverb on. So what you can do with it as well, it's got a couple of effects loops in it. And this is what a lot of people are saying about the Tonix pedal, is it hasn't got any effects loops in it. So what you can do is you can plug external pedals in, whatever you want. They can be stereo effects pedals, mono effects pedals, overdrives, modulations. So I've got the Jam pedals, a harmonious monk in there.
And it can go anywhere in the chain?
Yeah, you can stick it anywhere you want. Yeah. So if you've got an overdrive pedal, you want to put it before the amp, you can do that. If you've got some reverb and you want to put it after the amp, you can do that as well.
Yeah, nice.
So what do you think?
Yeah, it's a really nice unit. It looks great. The touchscreen is great. I mean, I've never seen one in real life.
IRL.
Yeah.
But yeah, not only that as well. So if you want to click on that and then you want to control the actual parameters.
Oh yeah.
Which I think is, that's brilliant.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
really
sorry,
good.
Phil. So I'll let you continue.
Yeah, it looks great. It sounds great. Immediately off the bat, the only thing that I'm thinking about it is an awful lot of fiddling and menu diving and selecting stuff. And,
right. Yeah.
Rather than everything being right in front of you.
Yeah.
So like if you've got either a pedal board where you've got one pedal for your amp and cab, you've got another pedal for your delay, you've got all the controls right in front of you, really easily accessible. Yeah. And especially if you're at a gig and you're playing in a massive great hall that's got no soft furnishings whatsoever and it's resonant all over the place, the first thing you're going to want to do is make a few adjustments, to try and fit your sound in there. Whereas with something like this, especially when you first get it, it's all very well if you've had it for 6 months, you know it inside out. When you first get it, you'd be like, right, okay, I want to turn down, there's too much bass, so...
Just defending the Quad Cortex, I think it's quite easy. So I go into the amp block, and you've got the 4 controls that's built in. So you've got your volume, your treble, and your bass. Yeah, okay, it's basic because you've only got 4 controls, but you can whip down the bass. Or whip up the bass.
Okay.
So I think that's quite easy. I think it's also easy the amount of alterations that you can do to it. So for instance, if I want to click on that empty block there and I want to load in an EQ, just say like a 3-band parametric EQ, and then you can see it in front of you. You can also draw in, you can find the frequency that's let me do it so
okay, yeah.
So you can draw in that frequency, you can change the Q, make it sharper. Change the type of EQ and then filter out that frequency that you want.
Nice. Yeah.
And if you don't want that effect, chuck it up to the bin.
Chuck it in the bin. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
But it's a bit of a learning curve. You've had this for a week or 2 now, so
yeah, and I've had it before, and I had it before, so all that sort of stuff I sort of know. I do know about it.
But the sounds coming from it are great. I mean, all the reverbs and stuff we're hearing today is all from the Quad.
Just from the Quad Cortex.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, it sounds great. Amazing. Is it any better than what I currently use, though?
That's the question. Yeah. So currently you're using a
Boss IR2.
Boss IR2 and a couple of other pedals.
Yeah.
I can get it out just while it's in here, so I'll just whip it out.
Yeah.
God, it's a nice bag, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a boss bag.
It's got a boss bag.
It's a boss bag. Yeah.
Look at this, he's supporting the brand. Oh, that's great. I just get me one of these bags. It's cheaper than the PRS bag, I hope. Which is about 200 quid.
Oh god, yeah, that was 85 quid, I think.
I need one of them, please, boss. So that's what you're currently using. So you've got a IR2 and an HX1.
Yeah, and the HX1 is rigged up in 4-cable method. So you can have some effects. There's only one effect at a time from the HX1.
Yeah.
But you could have a drive in front of the IR2 and you could have a delay after the IR2.
So would you instantly go to that, or would you say this does everything you need and you honestly wouldn't?
Personally, I can't feel a need for something like this at the moment. And again, I'm a little bit of a skinflint. So the other thing that's putting me off is the price tag. If this was a lot cheaper...
Skinflint, he's just bought a Sir.
Yeah, there's a special reason for that. It's because I'm an old skinflint. Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? Because obviously the company Neural have put a lot of R&D into this. They've built it. Obviously, it's really good quality. It looks great.
Yeah.
So I guess you could argue that the price tag is not that unreasonable. But then again, on the other hand, although I don't gig for a living, but if I did gig for a living, I gig in pubs.
Yeah, but you gig semi-professionally.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't earn a lot of money from gigs, and it would take me an awful long time to earn money from gigs to buy one of these.
Right.
Whereas it wouldn't take me long to earn money from gigs to buy that.
That's a great point. It's all a good point, isn't it?
Yeah.
See, I think, just to defend this again, I think if you went and bought, say, like a Strymon Big Sky reverb, say you bought the Strymon Trifecta, that's going to cost you 1,200 quid, probably more. I'd have to look on the current prices. That's not much more than that.
Yeah.
Plus, with all the other effects and the fact that you can capture, I think that's the best all-in-one.
Yeah.
Is it better than the Axe FX3, which I used to have? The Axe FX3, I think, they've got the best effects A little better than the Quad Cortex, I'd say. Just a little bit better. But you can't capture as such. You can do a, I can't remember what they call it with their EQ curves. You can do
tone
like
matching.
Tone matching, exactly. Yeah, that sort of thing. But you can't do all that sort of stuff. I think when XFX 4 comes out, but that's going to be probably $4,000.
Whew.
You know, 3,000 something.
Yeah. But if you're the type of guitarist who, and they are out there, I do know them, who buy one piece of gear, and that's a bit of gear they use for 25 years.
Yeah.
That would be perfect.
Yeah.
Because you buy that, it's got everything in it, sounds great, looks great.
Yeah.
And also you could kind of assume that Neural are going to be supporting this for the next 5, 7, maybe even 10 years with updates.
Who knows with Neural? Who knows? Yeah.
And so you would hope that it would remain relevant for, possibly up to a decade, really.
Yeah.
I mean, Helix is now a decade old, isn't it?
Kemper is over a decade, yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you were that type of guitarist, I mean, this has got a price tag of about 1,500 quid in England. So, if you were the type of guitarist that said, my last bit of gear has lasted me 15, 20 years, it's time to buy something new for the next 20 years, that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas, people like us who buy new stuff all the time,
Yeah.
1,500 quid is quite a lot to just impulsively go, I'm going to buy that right now, as opposed to something like the IR2, which is less than 200 quid.
That's great, isn't it? So, ignore this video, just go and buy an IR2. Anyway, really hope you guys got something out of this video. If you did get something out of it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Click on the bell button and you'll be notified of any future video that comes out from the Studio Rats. I'm Paul.
I'm Lee.
And we'll see you next time.